करुणापूर्णसुधाब्धे कबलितघनविश्वरूपकिरणावल्या अरुणाचलपरमात्मन् अरुणो भव चित्तकञ्जसुविकासाय Okay. We'll start with verse 8. भेदभावनात् सोऽहमित्यसौ भावनाभिदा पावनीमता भावशून्यसद्भावसुस्थितिः भावनाबलात् भक्तिरुत्तमा हृत्स्थले मनः स्वस्थता क्रिया भक्तियोगबोधाश्च निश्चितम्. So we saw even in the attitude of bhakti there is gradation. One is, we start with no bhakti. No bhakti is not mentioned here. So the minimum is what? Bheda bhavana saha bhakti. Bhakti which does not, see, bhakti cannot begin with I am Ishvara. It's not a possibility. Because then what is, there is no two. Non-dual and any vyavaharas don't go hand in hand. Therefore, bhakti has to begin with Bheda Bhavana. But that Bheda Bhavana is not where you should park yourself. You have to move. Where to? To Abhidha Bhavana. And there's a difficulty also sometimes here, that if you're raised in an environment where this Abheda is looked down upon, Bheda is emphasized, then it is very difficult to get out because it gives you a lot of guilt. You know, how to, and somebody tells you also, what? You think you're Ishvara? Huh? You think you're Ishvara? You shake because asked directly, what will you say? You can't say anything. It's not that you think you're Ishvara. But Shastra is saying there's a difficulty. And human psychology is you want to belong. You want a pat on the back. You want to be approved. Therefore, general idea is what? We sell you an idea. You are special. You belong to us. Now you have membership, you know. You are special. You feel good about it. So if you belong to us, you are no problem. Straight away you will have direct ticket to moksha. What is moksha? You don't ask. But some idea they have. But what they have confirmed is problem solution doesn't lie here. This is the thinking. Solution cannot happen here. Therefore, there must be something after death. And after death, what happens? Nobody knows. But if the theology comes and tells you, you can't do it, then that programming is hard. And the programming is what? If you start saying an Ishvara like this, other than what we describe out in heaven, then it is Satan. And therefore, you are programmed to think that if you get any other idea other than what they tell you, it is wrong. So you go back. It's a nice control system. You know, control system means, how does it work? You have to have a feedback. And there must be a delta, some distance. Otherwise, feedback cannot do anything. Only when you see a difference, then you take the corrective action. So, corrective action is what? As soon as you think outside the box, corrective action. Satan, go back. This is how it works. So, that is hard. But what do we want? Bhava shunya Sadbhava swasthiti. Jnani Bhakta, you want to become. You want to grow into. Become means here, become in terms of owning up what you already were. Not become. Not by karma. Na karmana. Alright? And how is it achieved? Bhavana balat. Here take bhavana as repetition and also nididhyasanam, shravanam, whatever it takes. Repetition of whatever it takes. How many times should I listen to Upanishad? Asakrit upadeshaha. Any number of times. How many days should you stay in a math class? One class, two class. No, till you understood what the equation is. The education only ends when the equation understood. Whether it's understood in one class or 10 classes or 500 classes, it doesn't make a difference. And if despite sitting in 10 classes you don't understand, when everybody else understands, you know infrastructure is probably lacking. That's the insight. All right? Somebody will say, Uttama Bhakti you're saying is non-duality, that I am he. Then Bhakti will go away. Bhakti will go away. I don't want to lose my Bhakti. Bhakti is so important. Because I have put so much commitment to Bhakti, Dvaita Bhakti. And I cannot understand how Bhakti will be retained after Jnanam. Swamiji, do I not pray only when I need something? Correct. In a relationship, do you always need something from each other? Forget Bhagavan. In any relationship, is it always need-based? You scratch my back, I scratch yours? Or is there more to it? Isn't there a time when you just happily relate with no demands on each other? Therefore, a relationship is just a relationship. The demand is something which actually vitiates the relationship sometimes. Correct? So, this thinking that bhakti will go away, we ask, bhakti is for what? What is the purpose of bhakti? Is it to remain a bhakta forever? Told you. There are people who will tell, I should be born, I would rather be born as a grass in Vrindavan than get anything else. I always want to look up to you. So they will extend to this guru also. Swamiji, every life I want to be born as your Shishya. Swamiji says, Appa, if you want to be a Shishya forever, means you're telling me I will never learn. Understand the problem. I want to be your Shishya forever means I will never graduate. I will always be here. That is not Shishya, okay? That is the fellow who wants to just be there. He wants that nice, compassionate Dayananda touching him and saying, you're okay. That's all he needs. That's not what we ask you to come here for. You should come and you should walk out without crutches. No crutches. If a guru wants you to be always dependent on him, then he is using you. Because he wants to build his gurudom. Kingdom and gurudom. So this gurudom builders are a lot of people. Shastra says, na shishyo, na guruhu. There is no sadhaka, there is no sadhya. All that is here is Ishvara. Why would you want to be born again and again? So this bhakti is sadhana bhakti va, siddha bhakti va. Is it a means or is it fully grown, fully accomplished? What is the purpose of bhakti? It's an attitude to relate to Ishvara. What is the purpose of relating to Ishvara? To get to know Ishvara more and more. First, to get something from him. Then to get some first is artha. In trouble you help me. Then, give me something when I need. Then, I want to know you. Then where will it culminate? I know you. And when you know, how will you know Ishvara? As Abheda. Now, what is bhakti? Relationship between Ishvara and me. Initially, what am I? A periodical devotee. When I see Bhagavan, I become devotee. When I don't see, I am not devotee. Then what happens? With the Shastra study, I want to see Ishvara. It's an effort to bring in Ishvara more and more. After understanding what happens, Ishvara never goes out of view. Not because you make an effort, but cannot go out of view. Krishna is told, you can leave the range of my vision if you have the ability, leave my mind. If you have the ability, leave my mind. Let us see. Let us see what you can do. He cannot. Why? Because there is nothing but Ishvara. Once it's understood, effort normally is you're trying to hold on. Okay? Somebody asked me, see, is the problem with myself or is the problem with the mind? So, we use the word upadhi, we will get to that later. But the point is, you say, oh, this body has a problem, this mind has a problem, this has a problem. I don't have a problem. Who says this? Anyone would say this sometimes. Because you think, you have learned some basic Vedanta. Body, objectified, not me. Mind, not objectified. Objectified, not me. You do this. Don't really do it. Just think you did. That's what happens. Now what do you say? You say, problem belongs to the mind. Now you say, Swamiji, I have no problem. I know I have no problem. My problem is this mind. I have no problem. Problem is this mind. Okay, let the mind have. You have no problem, right? Let it be. Let it be. Let the mind have problem. What's your problem? No. Why no? Suppose he has a headache. Somebody. Do you have a headache? No. Let him have a headache. Now, have compassion is different. But I'm saying, he has a headache. Do you get a headache? No. But right now, when mind is not okay, you say, I am not okay. No, Swamiji, I am okay. I know, I have studied, I have heard. Mind is the problem, which means there is a mind other than you. I ask you, where do you end? Where does your mind begin? Tell. Where do you end? First you have to define you. Then only you can talk of anything else. Where do you end? I am Sakshi, I see the mind. Fine, you see the mind. Where do you end? When the mind is not there, are you there? When the mind is also there, are you there? Then, did you end? No. So, how do you know you are other than the mind? Before this lid, clay was there. After the lid also, clay is there. Does clay think, if clay thinks I am not in the lid, is it true? Is the lid, Swamiji, clay says. Lid says, not clay. Lid says, I have no problem. I know I am not the lid. I have no problem. But I have a problem. Because as far as it's concerned, it is still, it says, Swami, I have no problem. Lid has a problem. Let lid have a problem. No, lid shouldn't have a problem, which means that you take the lid to be other than you. Clay thinks lid is other than me and still cannot avoid the problem because really it hasn't understood. So understand the problem. Don't blame the mind. The mind should not become a whipping boy for my problem. If the mind really, see if this clock doesn't work, let us say, I will say replace the clock. I don't have a problem, okay? I don't have a problem. Similarly, if this body has some problem, I can't say replace the body. But I can say this is how the body is. But I don't have a problem. This is understanding. Mind has a problem. This is more serious. Why? Because my total identification is with this ahankara and mind. Therefore, how do you say you are happy? When do you say you are unhappy? When the unhappy thought comes, you say I am unhappy. So where How do you associate I purely with the mind? So you say mind has a problem, I don't have a problem, is not true. All right? So adhikaritvam, the qualification, the growth is not for the mind. The growth is for you. You, identified with the mind, grow in terms of being able to accept your mind. So if we say mind has a problem, you are dissociating yourself from the problem. It won't solve it. Okay? So understand. And Swamiji, if I accept the mind, it's okay. So my prayer is because of non-acceptance. It is true. Your prayer is because of non-acceptance. But out of non-acceptance, you don't need to pray. You can also go and drink, or you can go and commit suicide. Prayer is your choice. It's an action. All right? So understand. The differences are subtle, but very important. Now, Swamiji, but when you say between one thought, one japa, another next mantra, what is between there? What's an interval? I can't describe it. Good. I don't want you to describe it. Because you can't describe yourself. That is the truth. But you understand, whatever can be described is not you. Catch that. Whatever can be known, described, objectified, cannot be you. You cannot be that. Better. You cannot be that. Then you will give up attempts to describe. And when I say it cannot be objectified, give up the anticipation or trying to see Atma. That will destroy the pursuit. You have to relax totally. Because who relaxes? You. You can never go away from yourself. Try. Deny yourself. Say 100 times, I am not. You will not vanish. Don't worry. You will never be lost. Atma cannot be lost. This is the saving grace, okay? You can put any number of false allegations on Atma, but it will be sparkling clean. Never worry about Atma becoming impure. It cannot become impure. And the mind is not impure. Mind is also Atma. Atma is not the mind. That's what we have to learn. Okay? And for that, all this is the path to grow into it. So every time somebody asks me a question, I understand how it can be misunderstood. Very helpful, because otherwise communication doesn't go. So if you have a doubt, ask. If you don't ask, you will carry your doubt forward. Okay? Not now. Satsang box. Hritsthale manaha swasthata bhakti yoga bodhascha nishchitam. We were looking at that. We looked at it actually. I want to touch upon one thing there. What is this Hritshthala? I told you. But what is Hrit really? Don't physicalize it. Because what did I say is Hritshthala? The point, it is Atma, I said. Fine. In Upanishad, we will hear the word Hrid as Buddhi. Okay? How does Ramana look at the word? Because this is a favorite word, Hrid. How does Ramana Maharshi look at this word Hrid? You see now. He says, I will tell Sanskrit and English, don't worry, okay? Nirgachanti yatas sarvaha vrittayaha dehadharinam hridayam tat samakhyatam bhavana kriti varnanam. Look, your whole world is what? Do you see what's outside? Or do you see what comes into your mind? Your mind. So what is your whole world? It's your thoughts. Many thoughts. Many and varied thoughts. All those thoughts depend upon what? I. So, because there is no other thought unless there's an I. All the thoughts deliver their goods into I. He relates. Pot thought. For whom is this benefit? Pot. There's a pot. Who knows? That's the I, the waking I. All right? So all thoughts, the world is all thoughts. And all thoughts have their nucleus or their basis in the I thought. What is Hrit? It is that from where the I thought emerges and the I thought resolves. This is how he presents it. So what is Hrit then? Is it a physical location? It's not. Yet, for some people, a physical feeling that it's located. I told you, we all say this, we don't say this. So there is something in our heads which make us identify at this point. This is an observation. And Ramana Maharshi says there is this place, not to the left, on the right side of the physical heart is what he calls Hrit, but not a location. Don't make your meditation trying to locate yourself there, because only you will locate your body, you won't locate anything else. Because people have all these difficulties. Hrit is not a location. Should be very clear. So what is Hrit then? It is Nirgacchati yataha ahamdhihi. Yataha, from where? From where this I emerges. I means I will come with the mind, with the world. When you wake up, what wakes up first? Mind wakes up first or the world wakes up first? Think carefully. When you open your eyes, sight happens first, eyes see first, or world comes first? Both come together, right? There are no two operations. Open your eyes means sight, seeing, seen, everything comes together. Same way, when you wake up, what wakes up? What is waking up? You wake up to the world. You wake up to the world as brought to you by Ahankara. Therefore, Ahankara and the world come together, go together. Come together, go together. If the world is independent of Aham, it should have been separately seen. You never see it. And they both go together, which means both are one combination, one combo. The combo pack you dismiss together. That's what you do. If you try to hold on to this and dismiss the world, you will hold on to this. That is why, what is Ishvaraha? Ahamaha Jagataha Nidanam. Both you have to take out. Difficulty we have normally is, we somehow think Jagat excludes this. And now you want to see this I is Jagat. As Tattvamasi, it won't work. This also you send out, including the world. Now you are in good shape. That is the insight you should see. See, anything we try to oversimplify, you will just hear the words and you'll imagine it. This is the problem. Demystifying meditation sometimes is a problem. But you need to understand what is being said. That what we want to know is not something that you're going to objectify. Keep that in view, which means drop attempts to objectify yourself. Otherwise, you will be on a trip forever. Okay? That's about Hrit. Now, we saw what is the goal? Hrit sthale manaha swasthata. And you can see in the Upanishad also. In the Chandogya Upanishad, there is a Dahara Vidya. So you have to meditate on yourself. This is a meditation. Where should you meditate? Dahara Kasha. What is Dahara Kasha? You have your heart here. In the heart, you have, suppose this is your heart, okay? There's some space here, equivalent to putting your thumb. That space is called Dahara Akasha. Small. In that Dahara Akasha, you have to contemplate upon yourself. Presentation is like, see, if you want to, you imagine this, okay? If you're trying to think about Dahara Akasha, where will your mind be? It has to be withdrawn from the entire physical world, the senses. It's a very subtle thing you're trying to be. See, this is what we try to do. When you give up the world, you look at the body, gross. Come to senses, less gross. Come to, the hearing. Come to mind. Each point, what are you doing? You're basically dropping your occupation with everything outside. And when you drop everything, you are. So we have to get inward. So this Dahara Akasha also will help there. See, even if you try to feel your fingers, like you're holding it like this, you're trying to feel it, you can sometimes feel that you can't see when one finger ends. It all seems merged. It seems it's glued. That's the resolution at that point. So when you're sensing it, or you try to feel your toes, it's not easy. Try to feel each toe. Because we're just not sensitive. So when you go there, you have to put an extra effort mentally. You have to draw yourself in to feel your toes or feel your touch. Now imagine you have to you have to think of the Dharakasha. What will happen? Essentially it helps you come back. And this is Shastra says. So then a question is raised. What? Come on. In this Dharakasha, whole Jagat I have to see. What is this? In such a tiny space, this whole world is in space. In that space there is this body. In that body there is a heart. In that heart there is a space. In that space I have to see the whole world. How is it possible? Then a question is asked. I ask you, is space small? Is space small? Yes, it's in the heart. Now, is this space, the space in this pot, is it? And there is space in this pot. 5 ml pot, 50 ml pot. Right? Which is bigger? Which space is bigger? Which space is bigger? Note, I didn't say which pot is bigger. Which space is bigger? This space is bigger. If you say one space is bigger, I will say this space is even bigger. Space doesn't have dimensions. Can you divide space? You put a pot. Did it divide space? You made 10 rooms. Did it divide space? Does space divide or does space accommodate? Space doesn't go. So, Bhashyakara says, correct at Dharakasha. Dharesmin akashe. In this small space, how can you have Atma? Space didn't become small. Space is, in the space dimension, it is all there is. That's the idea. So therefore, Upanishad also will talk of Hridakasha, etc. And we'll say Hridi, Bhavayet. Hridi there is Buddha. Understand? We'll use Buddhi generally. But Ramana uses the word Hrit quite often. And he wants you to, basically, his method is, you are going from what you can objectify to the source of what it is. It's really Karanakari Prakriya, again. So you go from body to the mind, because mind alone objectifies the body. From the thoughts, you go to I thought. Then he will say, examine where did I thought come from. And where it comes from, where it resolves, is what he refers to as Hritsthalam. Okay? So Hritstale manaha swasthata. Make the mind resolve there, abide there. What is that? For this there are many means, many steps, many means. Finally there is only one. I told you, to come to this Anekatti, there are many roads. To come to the temple, there are many possibilities. To go into Dakshinamurti temple, there is only one. In the same way, when it comes to Atma to be known, knowledge that all that is here is me alone is the only means. But to prepare yourself for that, there are many means. For having a mind which is prepared, there are many means. And what are they? We saw Bhakti, Yoga, Bodhaha, Kriya. Cha, Bodhaha, Cha. Not Bodhascha is not one word. Bodhaha, Cha. Bodhascha, Nishchitam. Nishchitam is determined. Alright, we saw Kriya. Now Bhakti. What is Bhakti? So this is another problem. Swamiji, someone, Vivekananda says there is a Bhakti Yoga. There is a Karma Yoga, there is a Bhakti Yoga, there is a Jnana Yoga and Hatha Yoga. 4 paths. You have 4 paths. Now your problem is, I am not giving you 4 paths here. Where should I fit Bhakti? Bhakti is separate path or not? And Bhagavad Gita also has Bhakti Yoga or not? 12th chapter is what? Bhakti Yoga. What is yoga? One yoga each chapter. So they think that's all yoga. So Krishna, what to do with Arjuna Vishada yoga? Sorrow of Arjuna is yoga? Understand, yoga means a topic. It doesn't mean anything else there. It means a topic. Because there are some people who try to give meaning to each of these. Topic. And that too, general. Not everything is detailed, is said. See, second chapter, what is the name? Sankhya Yoga. Bhagavad Gita, entire vision is there in second chapter. Why call it only Sankhya? It's fine. Some name has been given. I don't think Vyasa gave all these names. It's come later, okay? But it's convenient for us to split and see. There are some boundaries there. So what is bhakti? Suppose you say bhakti yoga. What will you do for bhakti? I will do bhajanam. Good. Karma. I will sing. Stavanam. Karma. I will do dhyanam. Karma. How is bhakti different from karma? Bhakti is an attitude which has to imbue the karma. And when you come for jnanam, to the exclusion of karma, because you have grown enough to now want only jnanam, then what are you looking for? The truth. What is the truth? Bhagavan. So what are you relating to all the way? Ishvara. So is that away from bhakti? Bhakti is there whether you go for Sankhya, bhakti is there whether you go for yoga. So Upanishad, Ishavasya says what? Two. Either Ishavasyam idam sarvam, jnanam, or kurvanneveha karmani jijivishet. Two possibilities. Third possibility is what? Third possibility is wallow around in samsara. Second possibility is you are trying to get out of it. Third possibility, you be there in the first two shlokas. Karma tat param. That's what it means. Therefore, we say, and look at it also. I told you, for any prapti, for any accomplishment, there are only two possibilities. Either it's really unaccomplished you accomplish, or it is accomplished and you don't know it's accomplished. Therefore, you have only two possibilities. Unaccomplished is accomplished by karma, and if it's accomplished, you only have to know it's already accomplished, it's jnanam. Why do you need bhakti? So this bhakti yoga is not another path. Not another path. Path, I said, because that's what they'll say sometimes. Paths, four paths. Okay. So, bhakti is not another marga. Bhakti manifests in each marga. Without bhakti, you have no Ishvara in your life, which means you are a person who has no possibility of understanding this truth. Okay? That's the idea. So, bhakti now you can understand. Bhakti is also important, and you need to grow into that bhakti. It doesn't happen. You go from Dvaita Bhakti to Shraddha, then slowly you grow into seeing more and more Ishvara, bhakti. And in that you can bring in now, because bhakti, what do you do? What? The karmas related to expression of bhakti you can bring in that as sadhanas. Singing a song, even doing a dance. I told you, for us everything was in the same. You do a Vedika Sukta, you do a puja, everything will, puja is kaikam, that will go into the kriya. Everything else you can put in bhakti. Alright, then what is yoga? Yoga here we will take it as Ashtanga Yoga. So, you have yama, niyama, pranayama, pratyahara, dharanam, right? Dhyanam, samadhi. All these are what? Ashtanga Yoga. 8 limbs. Yama, niyama are what? Disciplines. Ethical life. We say dharma, purushartha, that is yama, niyama. Yama is what? What are the yamas? Ahimsa, asteya. So you have these yamas, right? Then what is niyama? Shaucham. Yama is what you have a tendency to do, but you have to avoid. Niyama is you may not have a tendency to, you have to do. That is yama niyama. Alright? So all these are going to help your mind abide. See, look at this. We said, do what is to be done. Karma Yoga. And what's important? The ends should be in keeping with dharma, means should be in keeping with dharma. Correct? What will yama make you do? Ahimsa. What will it make you do? It will keep you in dharma. Asteyam means what? I feel like stealing that scooter. Don't forget. I remember my scooter, okay? So I feel like stealing the scooter. I say no. Niyama. Don't do it. Yama. Whatever, I feel, we used to have some friends in college. The fellow says, he doesn't take a shower for days. You ask him, hey, bhaiya, why don't you take a shower? Hum gande hi nahi hue. I have not become dirty. He would wear the same clothes also for days. And we would all have to maintain some healthy distance from him. Otherwise, you will have dhupam. No value for shaucham. Therefore, you have to have shaucham. Shaucham not just about clothes, not just about body. Environment. What do? We have dirt in our house. You sweep it. Then what do? There's a wall. You put it on the other side. Very common in our country sometimes, So far it's not in front of me, it's okay. My place is clean now. That fellow, what will he do after a while? He will come and put it this side. So this is what we do. We have a wally between each other. Shaucham means keep the place clean. What is more important, shaucham? Antas shaucham. Ragadvesha, nivaranam, managing them is all shaucham. Right? So, yoga, so now we have yama, niyama. What is pranayama? Managing your breath. We will look into it. Ramanaji himself will talk about it. Okay? Then, dharanam, dhyanam, pratyahara, correct. But what I'm saying is all these are for what? Swasthata. Relative swasthata for a yogi, because he only wants to enter into samadhi. For us, the swasthata is not through an action or an event, but by recognition of the fact that even when the mind moves, I am the same. So a yogi's freedom is when he can shut his mind down. That's the normal way of interpreting. Pujya Swami has also taught Yoga Sutras and said how it should be interpreted differently to make more sense. But that is not normally known. So because first sutra is what? Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodha. What is the second sutra? Anyone knows? Some yogis must be here. No, it's not that. No, I'm saying Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. What's the next one after that? Say, huh? How? Swarupa Avasthanam. Before that, what do you say? Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. You see the word here? What is the word here? Susthitihi. Same, avasthanam. But what's the difference? Drashtuhu swarupe. Who is drashta? Drashta is the seer. Who is the seer of the visual forms? The eyes. Who is the seer of the eyes? Mind. So who is the seer of the visual forms? Mind. Who is the seer of the mind? You can say ahankara. Let us say. Who is the knower of the ahankara? That alone is a drashta. That alone is ajadam. Because that alone has the consciousness light to lend. Lend means available, made it available. Everybody else has nothing. Therefore, jadam is what is not self-evident. The only self-evident is this. Now, this is the drashta. Drashtuhu, now you bring down drashta a little. Drashtuhu is ahankara. You see everything. Drashtuhu swarupe. Swarupa means where the drashta resolves and comes out from. What is that? Hrit. Same story. Avasthanam. Right? How? Again say the sutra. Swarupe avasthanam. Katham. By pranidhanam. Ishwar pranidhanam also is there. One sutra is there for that. Ishwar pranidhanam. So if you look at that way you understand Yoga Sutra differently. But if you go with Chittavritti Nirodha, it means thinking is a problem. See the implication. Thinking is a problem. So what is the solution? Don't think. Doesn't sound good? How long? Whole life, don't think. What should you do? Be in samadhi. If thought comes, go away. Go away. How many times you'll send away thoughts? What do you want to live for? What do you want to live for? If all you want is to be in samadhi, what do you want to live for? But if you come out of samadhi, you have a problem. Look at this world, all trouble. Go back to samadhi. So your whole goal is to shut out the world. You have to shut out the world because to you, the world is a real problem or not. Suppose, suppose I had a rope snake on my table. Would I try to get rid of it? Do I have to? But suppose there's a real snake. I would run away. Correct? I would run away. Swamiji, then we have a problem. If you run away, which means you are as real as a snake. Dvaitam is real. Who said I ran away? Body ran away. Get it? You should know. These are all there. As soon as you use the sentence vyavahara, there will be a problem. Guru Shishya, you are teaching or not? Yes. Teacher is real or not? Shishya is real or not? Therefore, Dvaitam is real. Who said teacher is real? Who said Shishya is real? Both are accepted temporarily. That's it. Okay? Therefore, the yoga is now pratyahara. All these are meant to bring you here. And what you can see is this. It's excellent means to arrive at a person whose mind is able to abide in wherever it wants to abide. I extended japa sadhanam to that far. How do you get there? By all these steps. This is expansion of the dhyanam really. The manasa kriya is being expanded further through the Ashtanga Yoga. And I said you need vairagyam. How do you get that? Yama niyama. So if you forget Bhagavad Gita, if you follow yama niyama very well, what will happen? Raga dvesha will have to get attenuated. Because if you just take ahimsa, it will shut out so many venues of action to you. Wrong ways of doing things, wrong ways of thinking. It will all have to go. So you hold on to that. Raga dvesha elimination will happen to extent. What will say? They will say, what is avidya? They have their definition. So asmita, etc. will come. But the problem is twofold. One is chitta mala, one is chitta chanchalyam. Two problems have to be solved. Mala you remove by managing raga dvesha through yama niyama, etc. The chanchalya means the nature of the mind to move. You resolve by the practice of dharana, dhyana, samadhi, etc. Words are different, and Yoga Shastra we say is much more elaborate in helping you with this aspect. We don't have that as much in Vedanta. So Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter is all about Nididhyasanam. But if you read Madhusudana Saraswati's commentary, he will bring in complete Ashtanga Yoga. You can get a commentary on Ashtanga Yoga there. He brings it in. But that is not our commitment. Samadhi is not our Angi. Our Angi is Atma. And Anga Angi, it's not really, because Anga means a limb. Angi is one with the limbs. Anga Angi should have the same order of reality. But here, clay and pot have different orders of reality. Okay? So Ashtanga Yoga is also a means for us to gain a mind, gain a status of one with a mind who can abide. If I say gain a mind, you will again think mind is a separate thing. So I have to be a little cautious now. Gain, I should become one who can abide. Not my mind should become one. I should become one. Extend everything which I say adhikaritvam to I. Don't keep it on the mind. Don't keep it on senses. Then you will understand what is adhikaritvam. Problem is centered on me. The improvement also is centered on me in a relative way. And then the solution, obviously, there was no problem. Okay? So that is yoga. Now what is next one? Bodhaha. Bodhaha, because of, bhakti, yoga, bodha, three are there, therefore bodhaha. Dvandva samahara. Not samahara. Itaretara dvandva. Therefore, what is bodha now? Bodha is inquiry. Knowledge means a process by which you gain the knowledge here. It is inquiry. What kind of inquiry? What Ramana Maharshi will talk about also, and what we will also talk about. What is the nature of I? What is the nature of the world? What is the truth? What is its swarupa? That is the bodha. So all these are what? Hritstale manaha swasthata. For this, they are all means. Don't think that these are all swasthata. They are all swasthata. Means they are all helping you to abide in yourself to a certain extent. So they are all helping. But they will not allow you to abide forever. Because non-abidance is possible in this. Because there is something other than you. But when you understand that one non-dual whole, whatever happens, that one doesn't go. Whatever you do with these pots, clay doesn't go. Okay? That's the idea. So having said that much, now the next couple of verses we can see are, you take the word and see in this context. Yoga was mentioned, but he didn't say anything more. In yoga, one is pranayama. Right? That you can see he's perhaps bringing. As an example, we will say pranayama is an upalakshana for everything else. Whatever else we need to bring in, what is not explicitly mentioned. Let's look at the verse. Vayurodhanat liyate manaha jalapakshivat rodha sadhanam chittavayavaha chitkriya Shakhayordvayi Shakti Mulaka. Tune went away somewhere. Okay, we'll bring it back later. All right. Now, the idea here is this. The mind, you want to have a mind which will listen to you, which you have a handle over. You should be able to use the mind as an instrument. This is the purpose. Inquiry has to be done with the mind. And that mind has to be prepared for the inquiry. It must be able to abide for a length of time. This is what we want. But I am unable to manage my mind. My mind is just running a riot. It won't stay. I have difficulties, whatever they might be. What do I do? Now, if some of you pick flowers from these taller bushes, or you pick fruit, we would do it all the time as kids, want to pick something, especially at neighbor's tree. So, what do? You find one guava there. You can't reach your hand. What do? You find this branch comes here. Where is that ending? You find another branch which is connected to it, which is below. Then you pull that lower branch, which is reachable. What happens then when you pull the lower branch? The upper branch, which was not reachable, also comes down. Then what do? You hold on to the upper branch now. until you got your guava. Then you leave it. How did you reach the upper branch? Upayena. By a means. What is the means? Hold on to the branch you can hold. Same to with flowers. I'm just giving an example. Connected. So here also, Ramana Maharshi presents as saying, look, there is one you which has two Shaktis, two capacities. One is Prana Shakti, one is Mana Chitta Shakti. Prana is Kriya Shakti, ability to do things. Chittaha is inquiry, the mind's faculties, two things. And these two have a common trunk. They both they branch out from one point. Therefore, if I can't get to the mind branch, it seems too unreachable, hold on to the prana branch. Hold on to the prana branch. Then what will happen? If you can get hold of the prana branch, through that you can lower the manaha branch. You can make it. So once I suppose I don't pull the second branch, I just pull the branch which is available. That also is to happen. You need so much strength to pull the lower branch that your hand cannot free up to go for the guava. You pull it down. It comes down. But does the upper branch come down or not? For how long will it come down? As long as I am pulling the lower branch. Now you use prana. What is prana? You manage your prana. Pranayama. Okay? Ayama means control, manage. When you do that, how long will when you do, what can the mind do? At one time, how many things can a mind do? One thing. This is the secret of the mind. So now I say to the mind, you watch the breath. I introduced that today, so you remember this. You watch the breath. What else can your mind do? You have to do this seriously. Watch the breath. What else can it do? Suppose it was interested in what's going on outside. It has to come back. Even if it moves away, I'll say come back to watch the breath. So if you keep watching the breath, what happens? Is watching the breath a thought? Are you doing some thinking? No. There is a non-thinking activity. Thinking means it can get carried away. See, the problem is, suppose I think of temple. From temple, I will think Gyaneshwari. From Gyaneshwari, I will go to Kolkata, Durga Puja. From Durga Puja, I will think, who is Chief Minister of Bengal now? Mamata Banerjee. From there, I will say, oh, TMC is the party. You see how the mind can go? It can go in any direction. You have no way to stop it. But when you have a non-thinking occupation, the mind can't move. Therefore, first, in fact, Ramana Maharshi will present, his preference is prana vikshanam. Though he says pranayama, prana vikshana means what? Seeing. The word vikshana means iksh dhatu. Okay? Visheshena ikshanam perhaps. Vikshanam. So, vikshanam means seeing. Seeing means what? Not trying to control, not trying to manage. So, now, is this lower branch not available to anybody? Anybody who says, I can't do this? Breathing you always are doing. Whether you like or not. See, Bhagavan thought, if I gave breathing as a free will activity to this fellow, guess what will happen? I have allotted 65 years to this guy. He suddenly shows up after 2 years and I ask him, why did you come here? No, I forgot to breathe. This problem will come. So Bhagavan did not make that design. He did what? He took control of breathing and also your digestion, etc. Eating I do, but I forget to get it digested. That won't happen. Prana is all on auto mode. Therefore, breathing will happen whether you want it or not. But our attention is never to the breathing. Now what do? You withdraw. To draw your attention to breathing means to withdraw your attention from everything else. Rather than say, withdraw your attention from everything, I say, draw your attention to breathing. Then why do we do first grant freedom to everybody? First step in our meditation is what? I tell you, let the world be. Because even as you are trying to draw attention to your breath, the mind will create riots. And it will go. You will go. Because mind has to focus on breathing. Instead, it's compelled to think about why this fellow did this to me. And once it goes, your breath watching is gone. So we have to use the best possible approach, which is finally you want the mind to be with you. What takes your mind away is your own mind. Therefore, you hold the mind by its horns and you bring it back. So this is what Swamiji calls reality-based meditation. We are not trying to imagine anything. We are just trying to say, yes, the mind has a problem, but the problem is not really a problem. We have to understand the mind. We are not trying to control the mind. We are trying to understand the ways of the mind. And that understanding, we know that the mind is going there because it thinks that this person shouldn't be like this. And by seeing that the person is in order, the mind has no reason to go there anymore. Any other means, see, you can go away from a problem by distracting yourself. But when you distract yourself, the basic problem went? No, it's very much there. It's like this. When a lot of guests are coming home and you have some junk around and you don't have time, what do? You cover it up. Nice cover you put. Painting. Whatever you do, you know why you put the cover. And the mind will go back there. Therefore, any amount of covering up is not going to solve the problem. So Swamiji's approach is very, very direct. If I can solve the mind's issues, then the mind is no longer going to stand and create trouble. It's not solved all the time, but for the meditation, temporarily, I become a sannyasi. What is temporary sannyasi? What is sannyasi? I have no agenda. I have no demands from the world. That should be the attitude of a sannyasi. That is what is desirable for a sannyasi, needed by a sannyasi. Because his only pursuit is supposed to be this knowledge. If he has problems with the world, he will have to pursue them. You can't sit tight. So, what do we really do? Another way of looking at meditation. For the time being, you be a sannyasi. If you understand, which means you drop everything else. I am unable to drop. Why? Because my mind has a problem. Then we try to see the order. Even that I am unable to do. All right, watch your breath. Or additional step. Both are okay. Watch your breath. Then what happens? The mind becomes quieter. Why? Because both are connected to the same Shakti. That's how Ramana Maharshi presents it. So what is saying? Vayu rodhanat liyate manaha. Rodhana means restricting, controlling, restricting, managing. You can say many things, okay? Rodhana. Nirodha. Stop. Okay? Rodhanam. So what are you managing here? Vayu rodhanat. Not the wind outside. The wind inside. The wind inside is called what? Prana. Therefore, prana rodhanat. Vayu rodhanat is prana rodhanat. Vayu rodhanat kim bhavati? Liyate manaha. Liyate means what? It resolves. It resolves. What is laya? Adarshanam. Adarshanam layaha. Lopaha adarshanam. Panini Sutra. 1165. Okay? Adarshanam lopaha. So, what is lopaha? We think disappearance. Correct. Lopaha disappearing means what? No longer in view. No longer in view. The agitating mind, it was agitated. Now because you are looking at your breath, that agitating mind can't do agitation and watch the breath. Therefore, what happens to it? That agitating mind is no longer there. And this is a non-thinking activity, so there are no fresh waves of thoughts. What is there now? A mind which is not a problem for you, a quiet mind, a resolved mind. Vayurodhanat liyate manaha. How does it happen? Jala pakshivat. Example. So I haven't seen it, but have any of you seen how a bird catcher catches a bird? They have to cast a net. Cast a net. And when should they cast it? When the bird is sitting or trying to fly away. Flying bird, I don't think you cast a net and catch it. So, you cast a net. What does a cast net do? It prevents the bird's flight. That much is the example. The net prevents the bird's flying. So, by using the net, you can catch the bird. It was trying to fly. As soon as you throw a net, it tries to fly. But your speed is faster. Or how do you catch fish? That probably more people might know. You cast a net. Then what happens? The fish which are freely swimming in the water are now caught up in the net. And then you pull the net up and you have a ton of fish. How do you catch the fish? By casting the net. How do you catch the mind? The fish becomes immobile, can't fly, can't run. Bird becomes immobile. Now you can bag it. Mind has to become quiet. How? Cast the net. What's the net? Prana net. Prana rodhana net you cast. Then you hold it. Hold it, and the bird is held. Alright? Vayurodhanat liyate manaha. Jala pakshivat. Jale pakshivat. Like in a net. Jala is a net. Pakshi is a bird. That which has sides. Pakshaha astyasti iti pakshin. Nakaranta. Okay? So jala pakshivat. Vat here means like. Pratyaya is vati. Jala pakshivat. Rodha sadhanam. Rodhasya sadhanam. It is the means to hold. Prevent movement. To hold down. So what is prana now? Prana is the means to manage. Management of prana is the means to manage your mind. Okay? Is that clear? Okay. Chittavayavaha chitkriya-yutaha. Shakhayordvayi shakti mulaka. I already explained it. I will just put the words across to you. Chitta. The mind. All the antakarana faculties. Vayavaha. Plural. Why? Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. We bring all the pancha pranas. Vayavaha will come. Chitta, vayavaha are what? Chit, kriya, yutaha. So, chit, antakarana has what activity? Mentation, etc. Chit, kriya. What does prana have activity? Prana, what is prana's business? Kriya. One is kriya shakti, one is just the chintana shakti kind of, Ichha shakti, jnana shakti, both will come under manas. Ichha means desiring. Jnanam means knowing. Sanskrit words I'm explaining, okay? So, kriya means action. So, prana is all about action. So, you see, breathing. Prana is called breathing, but it's not just that. Any movement is all prana. It's all prana shakti. Without breathing, you can't move. Apana is all about management of waste products. Apana. Then you have samana. Samana will handle what? The assimilation of the food you take in. assimilate all right, but how do you distribute all over the body? That is Vyana. Then how long should prana be in this body? That is Udana, the clock. These are Panchavayavaha, right? And their focus is what? Always doing. See, prana never says die. Mind may not be there. Prana cannot stop. If prana stops, means Udana decides to put eject button, then Panchavayu will go. Therefore, till Udana ejects, pranas will have to be in this body, and until they are there, they work non-stop, aviratam. Even in sleep, what happens? Mind is not there, prana continues. Otherwise, after heavy dinner, why should we become hungry in the morning? Prana is working. Prana is constantly working. All right? So, he is saying, Chittam has got Chit Kriya, Vayavaha, prana has got Kriya. One is, see, Chittam has got Chit, let's say. Chit Kriya, I shouldn't say. Chit, mentation. And prana has got what? Kriya, movement, etc. These are two division. Prana is about activity, manas is about thinking and mental activity. Physical activity, mental activity. That's a better way to look at it. These are the two Shaktis. But what is common to them? Shakhayor dvayi Shakti Mulaka. So, Shakhayoho dvayi. Dvayi means two some. Two. Dvi. Dvaya. Two. Dvayi. Because Strilinga. Okay? Feminine. Strilinga means feminine. So, because there are two, and what are they? Two branches. Two branches which are connected to the same node or main branch or trunk. Shakhayor dvayi Shakti Mulaka. Maya Shakti you can bring in now. There is one Maya Shakti which manifests as what? Kriya and Ichcha and Jnanam. Ichcha and Jnanam is Chit Shakti. Kriya is Prana Shakti. Is this clear so far? Okay. This is not my area to dwell, because this I will leave to the yogis to do, pranayama experts. But what I am saying here is, here Ramana Gita will present that prana vikshanam is the first step. If a person cannot even manage to compose the mind with vikshanam, then he says you go for pranayama. What is pranayama? Now you have to think of, Kumbhaka, Rechaka and, the Puraka. Right? So you have to know all these now. What is it? What are the measures? How many measures of time do you hold, you breathe in? How much do you breathe out? How long do you hold it for? Holding can be of two kinds. Either you hold the breath when you have filled it up, after inspiration or after expiration. This is called the word Kumbhaka. So typically in pranayama, Kumbhaka will be an important aspect. The other two are helping you with it. So they will always want you to have a longer Kumbhaka. And if you don't know how to do it right, and if you mess up, you can mess up your whole system. Therefore, it is advised that pranayama is done under the guidance of somebody who knows. And if you simply want to do pranayama, we say you do Nadi Shodhanam. Puja Swami would advocate sometimes Nadi Shodhanam. What is Nadi Shodhanam? You start from one side, you breathe in from the left, breathe out through the right, breathe in through the right, breathe out through the left. This is one round. Do a few rounds. And this should all be done before you sit for your meditation or your puja. It's all keeping the mind in place, so to say. It helps balance. So you can see, before you do Nadi Shodhanam, sometimes if you observe, one side will be having air going, one side won't be so free. We don't notice it when both are up. But if you close one, you will see. You will have a difficulty. And after Nadi Shodhanam, they will be more or less okay. Right? So that can be done. But pranayama is not an area which I have anything more to say. So we'll move on. Should we move on? No, we should stop here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om